Hello, everyone. Welcome to the iDegree workshop, Ask Gies Online Ambassadors Anything. I'm going to allow just a minute here for everyone to get connected and get settled. We have a somewhat larger group joining us today, and we have a QR code that you see on the screen. Feel free to scan that code. This is an excellent way to get connected to our team, get connected to our website. But my name is Lori Hayes. I'm a coordinator in admissions and recruitment here at Gies Online. I am joined by my colleague Grant Sifser, who will be assisting in the Q&A feature to answer any of your admissions related questions. And I also have three special guests on this call, three student ambassadors that I'd like to take just a minute to introduce. Obina, can we go ahead and get started with you? Can you take a minute to tell us a little bit about your background, where you're from, and what program you're enrolled in?
Oh, okay. Hi, everyone. My name is Obina Ibuchiri. I have a background in IT, but we started a business in educational technology a few years down. Currently an IMBA student in my second year, so I'm glad to be here. Thank you.
All right, Anita.
My name is Anita. I am actually a second year in IMSA program. I used to be a biology teacher before I became an accountant. So that was a big move for me. I joined IMSA last year and more than halfway done through the program. Really enjoying, really getting a lot of recognition at work as well as, upgrading my skills to become a better accountant with this program. So yeah, I'm so glad to be here.
Thank you. And Patrick.
Hey everybody, Patrick Surratt. I'm Washington, D.C. I'm part of the MBA program. I've been an IMBA program for about a year now, so I'm about halfway through it. And I am in consulting, so professional services consulting with the government.
Great, thank you. We will be hearing much more from them later on in the presentation. But before we get started, I do want to go over our agenda for today. And we're going to be talking about the three main qualities of Gies online programs. I will also give a very general overview of our three degree programs. Then I will turn the time over to our ambassadors to chat about their Gies online experience. We will have plenty of time also for Q&A. So as you have any questions throughout our time here today, please put your questions in the Q&A feature. It's a little bit easier for us to keep them organized there, and we'll be sure to get those answered before the end of the hour. And then I will wrap up the presentation with some application requirements and deadlines. And again, any questions, pop those in the Q&A. All right, so let's start by talking about the three main qualities of Gies online programs. Flexibility being number one. All of our programs are 100% fully online. This means you can access your group projects and live sessions from the comfort of your own home, office, or anywhere you might be. We are also flexible in degree planning, choosing the number of courses you'd like to take and the order in which you'd like to take them. You also, within the IMBA program, you can choose some focus area specializations and gear them towards your own career goals and interests. And in the IMSM and IMSA program, you can choose certain electives to do this, to also gear those towards your interests as well. And our tuition is on a pay-as-you-go model where you only pay for courses that you are enrolled in. Stackability, we offer many courses and bite-sized options to stack into your next credential to provide all learners an entry point that works for them wherever they might be in their learner journey. And we will go over stackability on the next slide in a little bit more depth. And then online by design, we have been delivering online courses through the IMBA program since 2016. It was one of the first online MBA programs offered at an affordable price. And we offer innovative delivery of content without sacrificing interactions or innovation with our instructors and fellow classmates. Okay, here's that stackability slide that I did mention. These are the building blocks basically that represent how all of our stackable credentials here at Gies Online. The first access point are the Coursera MOOCs. MOOC stands for Massive Open Online Course. Then we offer the non-degree single 4-credit courses. We offer 13 different graduate certificates, and we have 3 full master's degree programs. All of these can complement an existing credential. All of these options allow for development of new and targeted knowledge. They all allow you to work at your own pace. And lastly, stackability is outcome driven, which means you will see a career impact with each stackable step. So as you can see, we have something for everyone here at Gies Online, whether you're wanting to start with just a single course, earn a graduate certificate, or get a master's degree. We have options that build on one another and work together. Now, moving on to those degree programs, the IMSM program is made up of several learner types. We have non-business backgrounds looking to develop a leadership and management base, business backgrounds pivoting to include management in their skill set, highly technical backgrounds looking to broaden their business knowledge. This degree costs just over $13,000 and you can finish it in just 1 year. We have the 60 months on there because the graduate college just requires that you complete your degree within 5 years of your start date. And like all of our offerings, this degree is flexible in taking 1 or 2 courses each 8-week term, totally paced by you depending on your work and life schedule. We have 5 start months that are listed, and you will complete a total of 36 credit hours or 9 courses. The IMSM can now fully stack into the IMBA program as well. So if you would like to pursue the IMBA after completing your IMSM degree, you would only have 36 more credits to complete. And then the IMBA was a much deeper dive into the skills that you would need to maybe run an entire business. You're going to hone in on those accounting, management, and financial skills. You're also going to focus on learning business theory and discovering current trends, projects, and problems that you see within companies. And then you will figure out what the practical application is for those and how you can best approach those problems. A few quick facts for you. The total cost for this program is just over $26K, and it is more affordable than most comparable programs without sacrificing quality. You can complete the program in as little as 2 years or stretch it out to 3 years. And again, you have the 60-month mark there to complete the degree. We have 5 start months, just as the IMSM program. And the IMBA consists of a total of 72 credit hours comprising of 6 specializations and 3 capstone projects. Capstones are designed to bridge the knowing and doing gap, challenging students to apply their IMBA courses, work experience, and business knowledge and skills. Basically, students work through a case study with a team on a group-based project, and then they will deliver a presentation at the end of their capstone. And the IMSA, this program builds expertise in the fundamentals of accounting, like financial reporting, audit and control, and U.S. federal taxation. Whether you're a mid-level professional looking to move into that C-suite position or completely new to the field of accounting, you'll be well positioned to advance your career and increase your earnings potential with the IMSA. There is a range in the tuition with the IMSA program, but between 21 and 29,000, but the average is right there in the middle at 25. The range is because it will depend on your course choices, because the accounting courses cost a little bit more per credit hour than the non-accounting courses. Students complete the IMSA in as little as 18 months, or they stretch it out to 36 months. And again, you have the 60-month mark there to complete your degree. We have 3 start months for the IMSA program, and it includes a total of 32 credit hours or 8 courses. And 24 credits of the IMSA can fully stack into the IMBA degree later if you decide to pursue that program after you complete the IMSA. Okay, so enough about our degree programs. Now we're going to hear from our ambassadors. And first, we're going to start with Obina. On this slide, he's going to discuss how he navigates the course content and balances the high engagement or Canvas component and the Coursera components for each course. So Obina, I'm going to go ahead and turn the time over to you, and feel free to share with us how you balance these components.
Oh, thank you, Laurie. Thank you, everyone, for being here. So the thing about Gies is experiential learning. So in class, we also get that too. So Canvas is basically houses every activity that happens in class. So through Canvas, you get Coursera, and then you have to do all those things. So there's always a due date for every assignment you get on a weekly basis. And you get the course plans and every other thing, the readings and every other thing is in Canvas. So how do I plan that? The due dates are always on Tuesday. I don't forget that at 11:59 p.m. And the Coursera contents are there to support your understanding of what we'll be doing in class for that week. So what I do is that I get to learn or study the Coursera content a week before the live class. And then in the live class, I then support or solidify my knowledge based on what I've learned in the Coursera classes. And then we have office hours where we get to meet the professors and then we relay what we think or our concerns based on the Coursera content and then the live lectures. That is where we get to clear our understanding or any things we think that we don't really get from all we've studied, even from the readings and every other thing. Then for examinations and group discussions and assignments, that's a whole different ball game. But everything is within the Canvas environment. Yeah.
Okay, thank you. And then the next slide is Obina's three key takeaways from his Gies Online experience.
Yeah, awesome. So if you look at the picture behind that, that was I think it was the first week when I joined the program, and I got an invite from a big guy there from school for a meetup. So we met in the DC area, Patrick. So we met at one of the restaurants there. So advice for prospective learners, I would say be active.
Oh,
If Lori Lori could actually maybe tell you part of because I was telling her before, I hound her on our workplace environment. Basically, once she posts anything about anything that is needed for the school, I'll be the first person to tell her that I'm interested. So be active and be involved, even in class discussions and every other thing. For career impact, I would say I recently got an opportunity to be part of a board for a global organization, basically, and it came from my interactions within the Gies College. So, like I said, be active and also be open to connecting with other people. Another reason for me jumping on the program is for professional positioning. What I mean by that, like I got the board opportunity is also to position me for other bigger opportunities because most of the things that I'm doing within my company as it stands are some of the things that I learned when I was doing my 9 to 5. So if I get opportunities to be part of a C-suite team, I would love to be in that place so I could get or build on some of their knowledge and bring it back to my business. So most of my connections over time professionally came from the Gies environment. Networking opportunities has to do with iConvert. Me and Patrick was talking about iConvert just before we came online. So that's where you get to meet people. Apart from meeting your classmates online, you get to meet them physically through iConvert, those physical programs. Immersion programs, basically where we get to consult for other companies. Workplace, that's where I hound Lori once you post anything concerning the school. LinkedIn is another place. So when we get to meet up for assignments and discussions, I tend to ask them, what's your name? Would you like us to meet up on LinkedIn or connect on LinkedIn? And then we connect on LinkedIn and then we build rapport from there. And that's how most of my connections around the Gies environment has been. It's been wonderful. Thank you, Lori.
Great. Thank you, Obina. And then moving on to Anita, she is going to share with us what a week in the life is like for a Gies Online student. So Anita, I'll turn the time over to you.
Hi, Laurie. Yeah, thank you so much. I'm great to share. Very happy to share my experiences here. So basically, I'm going to give you a peek in the life, a peek in my work week, basically, as a Geese graduate student. First, life has become very busy. I'm always busy, always working, but I'm also enjoying myself because learning a lot of new skills. So the one big thing that being a graduate student at Geese has taught me is time management. I cannot overemphasize how much that is important because I'm working full time, and then I've got these courses that have got deliverables. Most of my courses actually had Sunday night deliverables. So I basically start my week with getting familiarizing myself with the Coursera content, which is the MOOC, the open content in every class that I'm taking. That basically what it does is it will give me the background. There are study units which are broken down into bite-sized video content, and then there is the study material available there. So basically, I kind of read through the study material, go through the videos, and that helps me become familiar with the topic, and also it helps me get prepared to participate in the class. And then I basically join the high engagement live lectures through Canvas. That happens based on which class I'm taking. It could be a Monday night, a Tuesday night. Most of my classes have been Monday through Thursday night, basically. So during the class, it's a live lecture. It's never a unidirectional lecture from the faculty. It's always interactive. They break us up into small breakout rooms where we are working with a group of students, talking, discussing ideas, working on casework, cracking problems and whatnot. And then we come back together as a group, we express our opinions, and then there's always a back and forth question and answer sessions, and a very interactive, I would say, experience. So that's what happens during our live lectures. And after that, there are assignments which are which are delivered to be delivered every Sunday night for me, but it could have any other a weeknight deliverable as well. Then there are group projects, case studies, a lot of Harvard Business Review casework that we do. And then we work together as a group. A lot of times we are working individually. Um, for questions, we are always welcome to go to office hours with professors and the TA. Our faculty is basically the top of the top. I can say that they bring a lot of industry experience to the classroom. And then basically, if the office hours time doesn't work, which has happened with me many times because I'm sometimes working late hours in the night, and daytime availability is very limited for me. Then there has been situations where I have sent emails, and by appointment I have got I've been able to schedule appointments with the professor, with the TA, and discuss my assignments wherever I was needing help. So basically all I want to say is that the support is there. It's outstanding. And then there's workplace community, like Obina mentioned, where we are connected with our peers, we are connected with alumni, and just any questions that comes under the stars, basically, and you'll get an answer. Is kind of my experience been. So yeah, so basically, I'm enjoying and making progress towards graduation, hopefully next year.
Great. Yeah, I was going to ask you, Anita, when graduation might be. So in 2026 then for you.
Yes, so that's basically my goal. And you're going to see in my second slide, actually, I have basically put that a challenge for myself. I turn 50 next year. So, and my daughter graduates from high school also, from college also next year. So basically,
Okay.
the plan is to work, mom and daughter walk together, but let's see if that happens.
Yeah,
So,
that sounds like a great goal for sure.
yeah, so that's the challenge I've given myself. In terms of the direct impact on my life and career, career-wise, it's easy to say. Basically, because I was, like I mentioned, I have been a career transition. I used to be a biology teacher before, and then I joined Caterpillar as an accountant. I was a third-party hire, a contract worker for a very long time. Some of it was by choice because things are working out okay for me, but then more than that, I needed those deep dive skills, the industry experience, the latest industry trends. And that's where Gies really helped me right after. So basically, I joined the program in January of 2024. And June is when I basically got my big break in the company. I was recognized for my for the master's program that I was doing. Everybody in the team came to know about it. In fact, my boss attended one of the coffee chats with me during just to find out about more about the program because I've been just talking about it so much in the team. And then basically I got a full-time higher management position in June. So that worked out great. The ROI right there, I could see, basically. But other than that, personal life, I have seen a lot of benefit as well. It has made me a better communicator. I have joined two or three clubs in the program, women who rule, women in business, the IGBA club. So basically, we have meetings, weeknight meetings. Whenever I'm able to join, I do join there, and we basically exchange ideas. There are so many ideas. I mean, AI, how that can help as an accountant or in a business, whatnot. So definitely made me a better communicator. Definitely yeah, helped me learn from my peers, from women leaders within Geese. And then, so basically, when I talk about ROI, I say this is way above materiality. I don't even count it in terms of finance. I don't even count it that way because this is above and beyond already for me. And then definitely, like I said, it has taught me time management. So yeah, so I can't be happier than being where I am and doing what I'm doing. So thank you so much for having me share my experiences.
Great. Thank you, Anita. All right. And then moving on to Patrick, he is going to touch on flexibility within Gies online programs. Go ahead, Patrick.
Look at me doing that back bend.
Yes.
Hey, everybody. So I'm going to touch on a few things that I think Obina and Anita have already kind of talked about, but I think it's important enough to reiterate. So as far as flexibility goes, excuse me, Obina and Anita talked about live sessions and being able to participate in those with the professor, and it's interactive, and you do breakout groups and solve problems and do all that. The really cool thing about most of the courses is they offer flexible time periods too. So 2 to 3 different times throughout the week, they'll offer the same course with the same content, and it kind of just helps to accommodate multiple time zones. And for me, sometimes I can't go to one. I think Albina said she works late at night, or Anita, sorry, Anita says she works late at night sometimes. So I can't maybe not be able to make the nighttime live session, but I can make the morning live session or the midday live session. So they do a really good job making sure that there are just multiple options for people because this is kind of a global degree, excuse me, our global program. The other thing is all of the live sessions are recorded. So I don't typically miss a live session. But if somebody wants to go to dinner, family, friends, I also don't like to miss that. So we spend a lot of time engaged in studying, group work, and actually going to live sessions. So when I have the opportunity to meet up with friends and it happens to kind of conflict with a live session, then I go back and look at the recordings. Cool thing about the recordings is that in a residential program, you don't have the opportunity necessarily to pause the professor and rewind to see what they said or to see what the other students were kind of chiming in with. And with the recordings, you can. So oftentimes when I'm taking or in the live session and the professor says something that I want to revisit, then I kind of note the timestamp, right? So at 7:25, the professor said this, I need to go back and re-listen to that. So then I can go back to that recording and listen to it. The other cool thing is, you know, if Obina goes to one live session and I go to a different live session, Obina might ask a question that somebody in my live session didn't. So oftentimes if I just need kind of a refresher on whatever topics we're going over, I'll watch multiple live sessions, or I'll participate in one live session and rewatch somebody else's live session. And it just kind of reinforces the learning. And that's, you know, that's something that you don't necessarily get in a residential program. So that's kind of cool. And then the multiple office hours. I know somebody asked one of the questions, like what time office hours were. Those are different times for different professors, but most of the time, with my experience, they have 3 to 4 of those per week. One of them maybe with one professor, or one maybe with another professor. Then you have course assistants that are doing it. So they really make time for everybody to be able to participate in those. Those are another thing that I recommend going to. Even if I don't have anything to say or don't have any questions to ask, sometimes I'll just sit in and listen because somebody will ask a question that I didn't think to ask. And so that again, just kind of helps me learn. Also, I think Anita was saying we spend a lot of time studying. And so these discussion forums that they have, every course has them. And they're so beneficial because there will be questions I have at 10 o'clock at night when the professors aren't available to answer anything. And I'll just ask a question in the discussion forum. Sometimes other students will answer, sometimes the course assistants will answer, sometimes the professors will answer, but the question will get answered. And you don't have to worry about waiting to the next day to ask it. You can ask it when you have the question. It may not be answered right then, but you've asked it, you'll get a notification as soon as it is answered. And then the group work. I think Obina and Anita spoke about group work. That was the scariest thing for me coming into one of these programs. I think a lot of people are scared of group work. I've had actually an amazing experience with group work. But one of the cool things that the program does is it takes into account your schedule. So we all fill out kind of preference forms at the beginning of the term. We submit those. There's some magic that goes on behind the scenes that kind of pairs people up with the same availability. So you don't typically, at least in my experience, you don't get matched with people who can't meet when you want to meet. You don't typically get matched with somebody across, you know, and on another continent that isn't available when you're available. So that is really beneficial when you're working with a team to get a project done on time. So again, that gives you kind of flexibility for school, family, and work. And you'll be able to do a backbend like that by the end of the first term.
All right, and then moving on to Patrick's key takeaways. Go ahead, Patrick.
All right, my key takeaways. As you can see, I kind of broke mine up into impactful, experiential, connected, and then seen, heard, valued. So the Gies curriculum, I put on here prime for the real world. It really is. I mean, I'm pretty seasoned. I'm actually like Anita. I'm racing to get my degree before my 50th birthday next year.
All right.
I turned 50 at the first week of June, and I am poised to graduate in May. So that's my goal. But you know, I'm pretty seasoned in my career. I've been amazed by the fact that from my very first class and my very first week, I was able to take what I was learning and put it into action. And it was a leadership course, right? I've been leading teams for decades, not too many decades, but several. And just having the opportunity to take what I learned in my very first week of class and kind of implement change in the way that I lead was pretty impressive to me. And from that point on, it was a no-brainer. Like I knew that I had chosen the right program. So the other part is, or the next thing is, Gies creates connection through community. And I think Obina kind of talked about iConverge, right? So iConverge is amazing. I started the program last August and went to iConverge, I think 3 weeks later in September. And it was probably one of the best experiences of my life. I walked away with a lot of friends and about 200 new LinkedIn connections. So that was kind of cool. But there's people from all over the world. So it's just, it's amazing. It's impactful. You walk away with new ideas and new experiences. And, I think we were talking with Lori earlier when she said, people actually get to pretend like they're in college, like undergrad again. They do really cool things during the day. They do like panel discussions. I think we had an AI in business one last term or last I converged. We had a women in leadership and then the E&I one, but it was just amazing. The interaction, the community that you kind of build at one of those events is very cool. And then Gies provides experiential learning. And I think Obina also talked about this. So I just participated in March in the first hybrid immersion program or immersion that Gies is kind of sponsored. And we went to Miami. We worked with a local business down there, trying to address a problem that they were having, excuse me, scaling their business. And 33 of us went down. They broke into 7 teams. I walked away with 33 new friends or 32 new friends, and also a really cool opportunity to kind of work with the team to help a business be more successful. It's also a competition. So, the real reason you go down is to win. We did not win, but it's okay. We had fun. And then, yeah, Gies ensures you're seen, heard, and valued. And I think that that's extremely important. One of the ways that they do that is through having student body representation from the IGBA. I participate in that. I was on 2 committees this term. I just got selected to be vice president of one of the committees starting next month. So that's really exciting. And I'm just looking forward to the opportunity to connect with more people and just provide, a safe place for everybody and a place for people to be brave. So that's it. It's
Great.
been an
Thank
amazing
you.
experience.
Great. Thank you, Patrick. All right, on this next slide, we're just going to touch a little bit on faculty networking and career support. But here at Gies Online, you will learn from world-class faculty who bring real-world experience into every course, as our 3 ambassadors have kind of touched on here. But you're going to connect with a global network of peers through interactive live sessions and group projects, and gain access to personalized career support and tools to help you advance or pivot in your career. One thing that I've consistently heard, and please correct me if I'm wrong, ambassadors, but that I find is pretty unique to our program, you will have a professor that is, the instructor for your course, and oftentimes there is another professor that is helping out in the chat, answering questions. There's also TAs available. And so it is a very interactive experience where they like you to be on live with your camera on. But if, that's not the type of learning for you, it is okay just to review the recording each week. But I don't know, how much time would each of you say that you might spend on a course each week? I think it can vary between 10 to 15 hours, but does that sound about accurate about the time that you're spending on each course each week?
Yeah, that's right. I would say 12 to 15 hours per course is what we are looking at. Sometimes I get done faster, but yeah, that's about the time that
Okay.
the courses are intense, so it will require some time and some time management as well to get the things done. But again, it's worth it, worth the trouble of
And
that intensity.
Okay. And then another question I get quite often is, how much time are you spending on the Coursera component versus the high engagement component? Anyone have any feedback for that? Because the Coursera component's kind of your digital textbook. It's like the foundational material, and then the live sessions are building upon that foundational material. Are you spending a lot of time on Coursera or not as much as the high engagement material on Canvas?
For me, I kind of say that it's 20% of my time. It is definitely the foundational work, which without which the high engagement material will not be easy for me. So, but then after the Coursera work is done, there is a lot to be done in terms of the assignments, in terms of the group projects, and the live lecture itself. So, I would say 20% is what Coursera makes it.
I think that it also, for me, depends on whether it's a quantitative or qualitative kind of class too, right? Because some of them I spend, especially the quantitative, I spend more on Coursera because I'm doing a lot of the problems, a lot of formulas and studying, just kind of going back and I don't catch on to those things very easily. So I would say some Coursera work I spend up to 40% of my time kind of working in Coursera. And it's also going back and forth between Canvas and Coursera because some of the home or the assignments that you're doing, group and individual, you need to reference back to that Coursera material. So
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. All right. So, Lo, you can go on. I align with both what Anita and Patrick was saying. I wasn't going to add anything more, but yeah.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Yeah.
And then networking, we've touched on, immersions and iConverge. We also hold events called iConnects where we might have a faculty member or someone from our department that is traveling. It can be in the United States. It can also be globally, and where we will host an event where we invite all of our learners, alumni, prospective learners. We might have a speaker on professional development. So those are other events that we have throughout the course of the year. But then we also have events. Before we started this webinar, Obina and Patrick both live on the East Coast, about 30 minutes from each other. And so they were talking about a meetup that's going to happen. We call those student-led meetups, where there are students in different pockets, different metropolitan cities throughout the world, really. And they might get together every so often. It can be monthly, quarterly, yearly. And so these events are also happening, and they're completely organic and led by our students, which I think is also really unique and definitely a special experience that our students can take part in. So that's something that our students can look forward to as well. And then LinkedIn, we touched on this, but you're really going to have a lot more action on LinkedIn and gain a lot more connections as well with being a Gies online student. And then in terms of career support, have any of you experienced any sort of used any career support resources or tools throughout your time here at Gies? Have you needed, anything like that? Or have you all just kind of used your own resources and networking connections?
For me, so I had a plan, what I wanted to achieve with the MBA program. So I had to meet a course advisor for that, for him to help me organize my plan. So yeah, so that was one of those things that stood out for me. That was very important for me to actually know where I was going, and because I just didn't want to jump on any class at any time, because I was excited to join the program, but I wanted to be much more aligned to where I was going. So that was where I needed much more support from.
Great, thank you. Anyone else?
I will add two things, basically, both career-wise as well as the course selection wise. So advisors are available whenever we need their advice. I have taken appointments almost before every semester before picking up classes. Like Obina said, I want to be focused and be able to take the right classes that would help me reach my goals. So the advisors are available, but I had a very unique experience last semester. My advisor was out of the office. He actually was dealing with a death in the family. So quite an emergency situation for him. But he logged in because I was in the middle of dropping a course and picking another, and the course was going to start very soon. I cannot even imagine in that situation, he answered my emails. I would have not expected him to do that, but he did. And other than that, there were other program advisors who went back and forth. it was probably a thread of 20 emails where they were guiding me about what course next and what next, and if not this, then that can help, and how it would really help, and all the free resources that are available. So I mean, it was just phenomenal, the kind of help I received. Other than that, one another story I want to share, and I have shared this in other platforms also as a panelist in one of these webinars. But because it's so close to my heart that I always want to repeat it. One of our professors, so like I said, the faculty are the top of the top. They bring industry experience. They have worked with leading companies in the area, so they have that kind of experience, and you can ask them course related topics, non-course related topics. So for me, while I was basically looking at moving into a new role, I was having doubts about that career transition, and I reached out to one of my professors. He was a managerial accounting professor, and he basically was driving from Champaign to Chicago. And during that 2.5 hour drive, he basically spoke to me in the car. He said that, I will not be rushed. I will be driving and I can answer all questions. And I cannot even thank him enough about, the kind of advice he gave me, and, the things that he told me. And right after I basically landed an interview, and the interview was successful. So even before I shared with my family, I actually shared it with him, the good news that, so basically, meaning to say that the professors of the faculty, they are always ready to support, always ready to answer questions, and we can. From this program, I have felt is that how much you give in is what you get. So there is basically no limit to what you can get in terms of returns. So
Great.
yeah, I have only been constricted with my time. Otherwise, there's a lot to be done and a lot to be learned and received.
Wonderful. I love that story. Thank you, Anita. Anything else, Patrick, that you think that we've missed here?
No, I think they've covered everything.
Okay. All right. All right. Well, we're going to move on to the application requirements on this next slide. So the requirements for our degree applications are listed here. You will be required to upload an updated resume. Unofficial transcripts or mark sheets are just fine for the application process. We won't need your officials until you are admitted about a month into your first course. Academic statements and short answer personal statements are also required, but all of those prompts can be found within the application itself. My best advice for these statements and these essays is to meet the word count and to address the prompts fully. 2 recommendation forms are also required. We actually email your recommenders. You'll fill in their information. We will email them, and they have about 6 questions. It's a character assessment questionnaire where they can put their answers down and then submit that form. It can take as little as 15 minutes. They are welcome to upload a letter of recommendation, but that is completely optional. And then an English proficiency test may be required for some of our international applicants. No GRE or GMAT is required, and a scholarship applications are available, but the deadline has already passed for our scholarship applications for fall 25, and our next intake will be for spring 26. And then finally, if you are concerned that your profile may not be strong enough to gain admission to one of our degree programs, the PAT program, which stands for Performance-Based Admission Track, might be a good option for you. It gives learners the opportunity to apply to PAT as a non-degree student. You take graduate level courses before officially entering the degree program. And if you'd like more information on that, just ask in the Q&A, and we'll be sure to pop the link in the chat for you. And then the upcoming deadlines. Our next deadline for an August or October start is May 1st. And the benefits for applying by this time are listed on this slide. There's no application fee. You'll have early access to the networking platforms and Coursera for Illinois and priority registration for courses. If you do need more time to apply, the final deadline for an August start is June 5th and August 7th for an October start. Okay, so this is our final slide, and this is your final cue to ask any of those questions. So any other questions that you'd like answered, please pop those in the Q&A feature. And I want to be sure we get those all answered before we close out. So we have a few more minutes here, but you can also see the QR code here on the screen. Feel free to scan this. This is an easy way to get connected to myself or someone on our admissions and recruitment team. And another great way to get connected with our ambassadors is our LinkedIn group. And I'm going to pop that link in the chat as well. You have to request to become a member of this group, but once you are there, you can ask any questions that you would like, and our ambassadors are ready and available to answer your questions. So that link is there in the chat. And then I'm checking out the Q&A. Doesn't look like there's any questions. Grant, does it look like we've got everything taken care of on your end? Okay, looks like we've got one here. I was wondering if the PAP program can apply for scholarship. Great question. And if I would like to apply for a scholarship, should I wait for the next year? Unfortunately, PAT students are not able to apply for a scholarship, and you can only apply for a scholarship when you apply for a program. So in order to be eligible for a scholarship, you would need to apply to one of our degree programs directly, and that would be for a spring January 26th start. So we've got that answered. Any other questions? Can I change my application to next spring to apply for scholarship? You absolutely can. I'm going to put my email in here, and please email me directly, and we will work on the steps to change your application to next spring so that you can apply for scholarships. So feel free just to send me an email directly, and we'll work that out. Okay, ambassadors, anything that I missed? I think we covered all of the main topics, but I want to make sure we didn't miss anything at all. The ambassador program is a great way to get involved. If you do join us here at Gies Online, I have the privilege of working with about 100 current learners that I am able to connect with prospective learners, have on these calls for webinars, and that we cannot do these events without them. So we are very appreciative of our ambassadors and all that they do for our programs and for our prospective learners. So please feel free to connect with our ambassadors anytime. And then, yes, we do not participate, since we are an online program, we do not participate in any rankings, unfortunately. I see Yvette asked that in the chat as well. Anything else out there?
Hey, Lori, do they have the link to the ambassadors page so that they can reach out to anybody?
I put the LinkedIn group, but if you all would like to pop your LinkedIn in the chat, you're welcome to. And then I could also put the ambassador pages in the link in the chat as well.
Okay. I'll pop mine into.
Okay, perfect. Thank you.
No problem.
Thanks, Grant. He's on the ambassador connection link. Thank you. All right. Anything else out there? I think we're getting close to wrapping it up. But I want to thank Grant for being here, for helping us out in the Q&A feature and in the chat. I want to thank each of you for taking time out of your busy schedules to attend today. And thank you to our ambassadors. One other question here from Yvette. What's the differentiator of this program compared to other programs? What would you each say stands out the most to you all with our program compared to other online programs?
So I was actually registered to join another online program. I was supposed to start within a week, and I
Oh.
took a MOOC. I took accounting MOOC just to refresh my accounting skills, and realized, wow, this is the first time that accounting has like really made sense to me, and started looking into the college. So one of the great things for me is that a lot of the programs that I looked at didn't offer as many networking opportunities. It didn't offer a lot of in-person opportunities, whether that was live sessions. Most of the lectures were recorded. Even, and I don't know if I'm allowed to say the name of the university, but there's a large university in Boston that I looked at too, that did not even, like, when you asked if you could talk to the professors or meet the professors when you were on campus, they were like, absolutely not. You're an online student. So they have differentiation between their online and their residential programs, and only allowed you to interact with their professors at a certain level through the online platforms. Whereas
Okay.
ours are, as Anita said, are available on drives from Champaign to Chicago.
Right,
I'm
exactly.
going to add a little bit here also, Laurie. I had done extensive research before beginning this program. I actually got accepted in six different schools. And when I was comparing the program, and two of them were actually in person and the four were online, the Gies basically stood out to me in so many different ways. And one thing Patrick had also covered, the live lectures, in an in-person situation, you have no way of having that recording, and then you can't go back and listen to it or look at it. Whereas here, we have participated in the live lecture, we have interacted, but we can go back and look at those recordings, or look at another recording from a different live session for the same course. And the questions that we did not answer, or did not ask, or somebody from my group did not ask, maybe somebody in the other live session asked. So that basically really basically makes a huge lot of difference. And then basically what I felt was that a lot of the brick and mortar program did not match up to the amount of the resources that Geese provides, in terms of faculty interaction, in terms of alumni interaction, and then the workplace community that we have here. So the support system, which is right here in Geese, and the quality of the program, I thought was unmatchable, and that's why I decided to go with it.
Yeah, me too. Just like Anita and Patrick, I did a lot of research and compared other schools. I had an opportunity to talk with few other schools, and one of the reasons why I didn't join those schools was because looking at what I wanted to achieve within the time I wanted to achieve them, the quality of the courses, the professors, and everything. I felt more connected to Gies than other schools. That was why. So it took me quite some time. It took me close to 2 months through that research process before I finally landed with Gies. Another thing was Gies is planned around experiential learning, which is basically the activities and everything revolves around real life situations, real life cases. So after doing a lot of research and looking at some of the videos, I saw that this was where I wanted to be because I wanted to be up to date in my learning when it comes to business because I was much more focused in business than any other thing. And another thing, like Anita said, was the affordability and the flexibility. So I needed to find something that works with my schedule and also won't break the bank while trying to get a business degree. So those were some of the reasons, just a few reasons, just out of the many that I have. why I aligned with Gies over other schools. Yes.
Great. Thank you all for sharing that. Yeah, Patrick, do you have something else?
Yeah, just real quick, I would recommend, if anybody hasn't been there, to go to Gies YouTube channel.
Mhm.
Because all of these are recorded, and I sat and watched them for hours before I decided to join. But there's a wealth of information out there. So all the way from mock classes to just webinars like this. So
Yes, and I will put that in the chat as well to our YouTube channel. Most of our events and webinars are recorded, and we put those on there. This event will also be recorded and on our YouTube channel as well. Looks like there was another question. Can you help me understand how an online program certificate for MBA is different or the same as an in-person? So I'm not sure if I'm understanding this correctly, but in terms of like the diploma and transcripts and the certificate that you actually receive, there is no mention of the I on any of those. Your diploma and transcripts will look as if you completed a residential program at the University of Illinois. I bet hopefully that answers your question. If not, please let me know. And
One thing I wanted to mention, and Laurie, if you correct me if I'm wrong, there is an option to attend a class with one of the in one of the courses and with the faculty just to try it out. I think I saw it somewhere, so I don't know if there is a link for that. But if somebody wants to try the program and attend a course, just basically one live lecture, there is an option to do that.
Yes, we have mock live sessions that we offer every other month, but I'm looking on our website right now. It doesn't look like we have one in May. So there will be one coming in June, but this is our events link where you can find that. And it is a great way to get like a little bit of a teaser of what a live session is like. Yeah, really good advice to join one of those sessions and see what a live session is all about. Okay, well, we are about 2 minutes from the hour, so I think I will go ahead and close it out for today. But again, thank you all for being here and joining us today and taking time out of your busy schedules. And thank you to our ambassadors. Can't do these events without you. I appreciate you so much and your time and being here. And Grant, thank you again for your help. And with that, I'll go ahead and close it out. And I hope everyone has a great rest of their week and weekend. Thanks so much.